We have 3 hockey champions with us tonight. All of them are gold medal winners at the 2018 Olympic Winter Games and the 2018 Winter Paralympics in PyeongChang, Korea. Nicole Hensley came to St. Louis from Colorado to play goalie for Lindenwood University. The Lions are a Division II school, but in women's ice hockey, there's only one division. So Nicole was in the nets against the very best. Over 4 seasons, she recorded a goals against average of 2.98 and set an NCAA record for most saves in a career, 4,094. Playing for the U.S. women's national team, Nicole has represented our country in 2 Four Nations Cups, 2 first-place finishes, 2 World Championships, 2 gold medals, and 1 Olympics. In a preliminary round game in Korea, she shut out the Olympic athletes from Russia 5-0 and sent the American women on their way to their 2nd Olympic gold medal. Steve Cash is from Overland, Missouri. He went to Rittner High School, studied sports management at UMSL, and has been a member of the Blues sled hockey team since 2004. A goalie on the U.S. national sled hockey team, Steve has skated in 6 World Championships, winning 3 gold medals, 2 silvers, and a bronze. He is also a 3-time Paralympic gold medalist, winning gold in 2010 in Vancouver, 2014 in Sochi, and 2018 in PyeongChang. Josh Pauls is the captain of the U.S. national sled hockey team. A native of New Jersey, Josh skated for the New York Rangers sled team and with the Blues since 2011. He now lives in St. Charles and studied sports management at Lindenwood. Josh has played on the national team since 2008. He has skated in 4 World Championships, 2 golds and 2 silvers, and is also a 3-time Paralympic gold medalist. In PyeongChang, he tallied a team-high 8 assists in 5 games as the U.S. outscored its opponents 40 goals to 2 and defeated Canada 2-1 in overtime to win the gold medal. Please welcome Olympic champions, goalie Nicole Hensley, goalie Steve Cash, and captain Josh Pauls.
What's it like to be the goaltender for a team that wins a world championship for your country?
Honestly, it's a lot of fun. We have some of the most talented players in the world, so to have the opportunity to backstop them is an honor.
When you play Russia and you shut out Russia 5-0, is that just another game, or was that different?
I think it's a little bit different. When you skate over the Olympic rings on the ice, it's a very humbling feeling, and while you're out there competing, you're just trying to enjoy every second. And
you mentioned that you're competing, and we've all seen the women's ice hockey in the Olympics. It really is incredibly competitive now, isn't it? Worldwide.
Yeah, it's the competition's getting better and better every year. Finland's team is improving quite a bit, as well as Sweden, and Russia's always competitive as well. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the games against Canada, but across the board, women's hockey's getting better.
And you told me you're playing professional women's hockey now. Tell us about that.
I am. I play up in Buffalo for the Buffalo Buttes in the National Women's Hockey League. It's the league's 4th year, and they expanded to 5 teams this year. So it's a really exciting time in women's hockey.
It's fantastic. Steve Cash, let's start with Steve. So you have 6 gold medals. Is that right? Total of 6. I was adding them up in my head as Steve was talking about that. That's a pretty astounding number. Where do you keep them?
That's a good question. I keep them close to me everywhere I go, and usually my nightstand next to my bed. But for me, it's been a whirlwind. But at the same time, I feel like I've just blinked, and now I'm here.
How did you get started with sled hockey?
So back in the day, I actually started out in inline hockey, and you know, I didn't really think that I was going to be a goaltender, but it just happened that way. And funny story behind that is my brothers would take me into the backyard, no more padding than just some newspapers, probably Post-Dispatch, tied to me, and they would just shoot hockey pucks at me as hard as they could. So I think me and Nicole probably had that goalie gene embedded in us before we even knew it. But for me, it's just that adrenaline rush, being able to make those saves. And it's funny, I met Glenn Hall a few years back, and he was asking me about the position itself, and I was describing it to him, and he said, "Oh, well, it sounds like your head is kind of the main target in net." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I guess you could put it that way." And he goes, "Well, you must be crazy then. You're talking about a guy that played 20 years in the NHL with no helmet."
No, yeah, right.
So it's crazy that, where it brings you, but it's awesome to meet people like that.
And you play, obviously, you guys on an incredibly dominant team. We always wonder with all the winning that you do, how do you motivate yourself? How do you keep going?
Well, it's easy when you have the best talent in the world in front of you. So in that gold medal game, we were down 1-0 for a majority of the game, and we came back, we were able to tie it in the third period, and then win in overtime. The common theme of that was Josh Pauls. He had 2 of those assists, and Josh will be the last guy to tell you, but when we need a guy like Josh, Captain Clutch, to kick it into high gear, he does just that. So it's really nice to have guys like him, not only on the national team, but here in St. Louis to train with.
And I want to ask you, and this will be the first question for Josh, when you're honored at a Blues game, when you're honored on a night like this, it's inspirational. There's people that are going through tough times, but you guys are overcoming much tougher things than a lot of us are having to deal with. So how important is that for you, that you are an inspiration for others?
It's hugely important, and the great people of St. Louis have been very receptive to what we've had to offer, and being able to step out and drop the puck at a Blues game is an honor for us, because we're getting the Blues players are sitting there going, "Hey, nice job, that's an awesome gold medal," and to really understand that sports has a healing capacity, and sports unites so much more than what politics or anything else can do. To be able to see the power that it's had, in my life and Steve's life. I mean, Steve's overcome cancer as a kid, and I was just born without shin bones. This is all I've known. This is easy for me, but for people to go through traumatic events like cancer, like coming back from the war, it's immense to see what they can come into a locker room and understand, hey, there's a bunch of guys just like you. We're going to make no-leg jokes. We're going to flip our legs up and use them as coasters. We're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Which was done for me tonight, by the way.
And if Steve will hold this,
Yeah,
I can
here we go.
actually demonstrate, just because, it's not every day you get somebody to just pop a leg up. And that's how, So, but it's that healing capacity that you're able to give a lot more people than just yourself. For me, it's just having fun in the locker room. For a lot of people, it can be, overcoming that fear of going outside, of leaving their house, that so many people can deal with.
And Josh, Steve said for him it's been a whirlwind. You were playing in Vancouver in international competition when you were 16 years old. What do you remember about that? That had to be a whirlwind.
Oh, it was. And, Steve was probably right around the best goalie in the world at that time. So it was kind of nice playing in front of him, because I knew, well, if I'm a forward now, then I have 2 layers of defense to help back me up if I screw up. And now as a defenseman, I still have the best layer behind me to back me up even if I screw up. But it was unreal, because we were able to go through 5 games and shut out everybody. We didn't allow a single go through that. And that's, on Steve, but also the team we had. We only gave up 30 shots probably that entire time. So Steve came through when he needed to, in a penalty shot in the gold medal game. But it's amazing to see what the younger kids are doing. I made it as a 16, 17-year-old in Vancouver, and I was a third-line guy. I was a plug. I wasn't playing a whole lot. But now we have kids that are coming in first-liners at 16, 17 years old, and it's real nice to see the development the sport's given us. Just like women's hockey has grown, disabled hockey has grown as well.
Congratulations to all of you. Nicole Hensley, Steve Cash, Josh Pauls, our Wray Award winners tonight here at the Baseball Writers Dinner. Thank you.